Now it's time for the final of the men's 5,000 metres. What a massive, massive sense of anticipation and expectation. Butchart of Great Britain, Chifley, Eritrea, and there is Mo Farah alongside Yomif Kejelcha and Edris, maybe the two Ethiopians, the biggest challenge. Chelimo, the Olympic silver medalist. Ruto there, the only representative from Kenya. Ahmed of Canada secured a national record in the 10,000 metres. It's a great final in prospect, and the crowd are on their feet already. Brilliant atmosphere expected. What a race, and what a lineup. This is the final of the men's 5,000 metres. Mo Farah bouncing from left to right like a lightweight boxer, ready to step in the ring. Can any of the Ethiopians deliver the knockout blow that has not come Mo's way since the final of the 10,000 way back in Daegu in 2011? This is the lineup, a field of the highest quality. Idris and Kejelcha, will they work together to try and deny Mo Farah yet another gold medal at the end of his track career? Chelimo got the silver behind Farah last year, very fast over the last lap if he gets it right. The team tactics here potentially could be fascinating with the Ethiopians. Ahmed, national record in the 10. Cyrus Ruto won the trials, the only Kenyan representing his nation. What about Chelimo Barega, world youth and world junior champion, massive PB this year, second fastest in the world, only 17. Knight, the other Canadian. Don't forget about Paul Chelimo. 53.1 to Farah's 52.7 on the last lap in Rio. Looks mean, looks ready. Tiernan, good run from him at the World Cross earlier this year. Kemoy Campbell, great to have Jamaican representation. What about Yomif Kejelcha? Looked very impressive in qualification. World indoor champion, just missed a medal in Beijing. Will he respect Farah too much, or will he and Muktar Edris, the other brilliant Ethiopian, former world junior champion, will they work together and finally find a way to beat Farah? And listen to this reception. He's focused, he's ready, he's asking the crowd to give more, and they will. They will roar home their own tonight to what they hope would be an unprecedented 11th global title. Andrew Butchart, very, very talented Briton, runs aggressively, third on the UK all-time list. He'll be up for this. He was 6th in Rio last year. For the last time in an international vest, Farah lines up for the 5,000. Can he finish this glorious career with yet another gold on the track? What a race in prospect.
Stand up, gentlemen, please. Stand up and stand back from the line.
And as if we needed any further attention, a little pantomime boo from the crowd. They're desperate for this race to get started. It's the final of the men's 5,000 metres. Mo Farah bidding to defend his crown and do so in style. Listen to the noise. You could be forgiven for thinking it's the last lap. It's not, it's the first, and it's the only Kenyan in this field, Cyrus Ruto, who leads at the moment with Farah in second. And this is interesting as Chelimo comes charging up on the outside, the Olympic silver medalist. This really is interesting because usually, Steve Ovett, Mo Farah goes straight to the back in these races and it's usually slow. But we've got two interesting developments here. The first is that Chelimo, the man who almost beat Mo last year, has taken the pace on. And the second significant fact is that rather than being at the back, Farah is paying very close attention to what's going on in front of him.
Very, very interesting. I wonder whether they've had a little conversation in the warm-up track, and Chelimo says, I'm going to take it out. If you want to go with me, fair enough. This is what I'm going to do. Mo, as you say, usually hangs back. That's his trademark, hangs back, waits until maybe the last 2 laps or so before he starts moving through. But Chelimo, as we said, he's fast over that last lap. We know that, 53 point last time round, but here he's taking it up.
We're normally used to seeing a big, tight group running together. This is almost single file. Chelimo, though, has slowed a little. You can tell that in his gait. He leads, and he is so fast on the last lap. Ruto is in fourth, and all of a sudden they're back down to a jog. And you just get the feeling, Steve, the slower this is, and the more they back off, they will once again play into the hands of the man who will have the whole crowd on his side. And I wonder if his shoes become a little bit loose there. He got his heels clipped there, and he keeps looking down at the ground.
No, I think he just he got his heels clipped there. Well, not surprising now that Chelimo's slowing this right down. They're bunching up. It started off well, but Chelimo maybe just wanted to get to the front. Maybe he doesn't want to lead it through. Ahmed just behind him. Farah just looking very comfortable, always looking over himself, saying, come on, go. No one wants to go. They know what Mo does. His trademark is that he comes with about 2 laps to go.
Back with the 5,000 metres after taking it on and storming to a 62-second lap. Chelimo, who's buried in the pack, then slowed it to 70. Muktar came through to join his compatriot Mo Farah at the front, and Muktar Edris now leading. He is the fastest man in the world this year. And Steve, what does he have to do to put Mo Farah under the kind of pressure that he hasn't wilted under since Jaylan out-sprinted him over the 10 6 years ago?
And as I said before, Mo likes to be just up there with 2 laps to go. He moves around everybody, goes to the front at 2 laps to go, and then holds everybody off. Now, the tactic, if you're going to use it against Mo, is to make sure he doesn't do that. Get to the front before he gets there, as we saw Kajelcha do in the heat. Get to the front, hold him off, and use whatever speed you've got, because let's face it, Mo has got that incredible pace over the last 4 hours. Use whatever speed you've got to hold him off. Don't let him have 3 or 4 metres. You can't do it. You can't give that sort of lead to the class of Mo Farah, because you just don't get it back.
And you've said in our conversations off air this week that these fields sometimes act as if they're paying too much respect to Farah. Is that happening right now?
Well, you can see they're just not worried. They're just watching him all the time. He's almost being mesmerised by Mo, and that's playing into his hand, because that's exactly what he wants. He's not being boxed in. He's not being pushed and shoved. They're just watching him and watching him. It's almost to say, when you move, we move. And as I said in the past, there are some people that win, like Mo, and there are others that try and chase the winner.
Idris leads, but by the high standards that these guys normally adhere to, this is absolutely pedestrian. Farah now decides to go to the front, the crowd responding. Ruto is there. It's so slow by their standards, 72 seconds. Ruto right there, Idris in third. Still no move from the tall, very talented youngster, Yomif Kajelcha. He's the big figure towards the left-hand side.
Well, amazingly, the second kilometre, 3 minutes.
Well, 3 minutes, to put that into context, is around about what the leading women were producing in the 3,000-metre steeplechase last night. 5 laps to go in the men's 5,000 metres. We had a little break from Barrega whilst you were away watching the high jump, but he was swallowed up. It's still very slow, and now it's Patrick Tiernan. Really good performance at the World Cross earlier this year. The Australian has decided he doesn't have the kick to live with the others at the end, and he is at last trying to turn this into an honest race at an honest pace.
Well, Patrick Tiernan, as I say, knows when he really needs to do things, and he's got up there with about 5 laps to go, pushing on. The others haven't really responded. They're just watching Mo again. They're concentrating on the main man. They're not worried about Patrick Tiernan out in front there, and that may be a good thing, because I don't know whether Patrick's going to last the sort of pace if it comes to a really fast last lap, but he's doing the best he can. He's working hard.
Tiernan takes them through with 4 laps to go in the final of the men's 5,000 metres. When will the big move come, or will they play into the hands of the fast finishing Farah, as they have done for the last 6 years? The reigning world champion and Olympic champion is in second place behind the Australian. Chelimo, the 20-year-old, the world indoor champion, is on Mo's shoulder, now going past him. Ruto is in 4th, the only Kenyan in this race. Watch for Paul Chelimo, the Kenyan who represents the United States. He's on the curb, and it's still very, very slow. Barrega, the 17-year-old from Ethiopia, gets a little shove in the back there from Ruto, because still they're ignoring Tiernan, and they are showing respect to Mo Farah. This is his patch, it's his territory, it's the distance at which he's dominated for 6 years. He's bidding for a 4th consecutive world title over 5,000 metres, and they are playing right into his hands.
They are, but Chelimo's right there, the tall Ethiopian that we saw looking so good in the heats. He's loping along next to Mo. The danger's there, Idris just behind him. So at the moment, there is no damage being done by the pace. Mo, I think, is doing the right thing. He's staying out of trouble, and I think his tactic is just stay at the front. Anybody moves up, I'm going to keep you there, exactly at the back. Keep back, I'm the champion.
Chelimo on the curb behind Mo Farah in the blue strip of the United States. He ran, there he is, wearing 10 on his thigh. He ran 53.1 when he just finished second to Farah last year in Rio. And this is slow enough that the fast finishers may well fancy it. We should give respect to Tiernan for deciding to take this race on. I know we're focusing on the athletes behind him. I wonder if he's buoyed by the great performance in the 100 hurdles by Sally Pearson. But they're all queuing up, and now the race is on. 2 laps to go in the final of the men's 5,000 metres. Mo Farah, who has flown the flag so brilliantly for British athletics and British distance running for so long, is he closing in on a great finish to his global career? He's watching the big screen. Everyone is behind him. Tiernan is about to get swallowed up. When will the big break come, and how much longer will they leave it?
Well, there was a classic case, wasn't it, of respecting Mo. They didn't box him in. Butchard comes on the outside, the other Great Britain athlete. Mo responds again. This is what Mo does best. Kalicha got bunched and pushed back, but he's coming round the other Brit now onto the shoulder of Mo Farah.
This is going to be a memorable 500 metres. We will never see him competing on a track in a British vest again. Kajelcha takes it on. The world indoor champion leads at the bell. Can they find a way to depose the British world and Olympic champion? Kajelcha leads. It's Edris, the fast finishing Ethiopian, in second. Farah's third, with the 17-year-old Ethiopian Barega on his shoulder. Watch Chelimo coming wide on the outside for the United States. He finishes like a train. And Farah's having to work here. Chelimo's closing in on the Briton. Is it going to be one last gold, or is he this time, in front of his home crowd, going to be beaten? Farah tied in on the inside. He's grimacing. This time, it may not be glory, or will it? He's coming on the inside. Edris is rocking and rolling. And at last, the fabulous Farah is beaten. Edris is the world champion. Farah takes the silver, and Chelimo the bronze. Well, Kajelcha hit the front at the bell, and Mo Farah found himself boxed in. This time, at the very end of his international career, he could not find a way through, and we should salute the man who does the Mobot there at the finish. Only the second Ethiopian ever to win the 5,000 metres, and Farah is a broken man on the floor of the track. He has given so much to British distance running. This time, it was not to be the gold, but what a great career coming to an end here internationally in the Olympic Stadium. This time, it was Edris on top.
What a great run there, really, from all parties. What a great race. For once, the Ethiopians decided that they weren't going to let it happen. They weren't going to let Mo lead all the way around the last lap. They moved to the front. It was a team tactic. They moved to the front. Kajelcha moved way ahead there. Behind him, Mo was boxed in a little bit with about 150 meters to go as Chelimo came through. But really, this man, Edris, over the end, had that blistering pace over the last 50 metres or so. Even though Mo was coming, Edris sailed away in the end. Well, sometimes the fairy tale ending doesn't happen. We saw that in the men's 100 metres, and perhaps not here in the 5. But that's not to take anything away from the fabulous, fabulous career of Mo leading into this race. He's going to be desperately disappointed, I know, but when he comes to terms with the fact that he's given so much to the sport, so much to British athletics, I don't think he'll be too disappointed. This was a great run from the Ethiopian team, though. Give them credit. They did everything. They threw everything at Mo, and in the end, it paid dividends.
Just a few of the numbers. The last kilometre was run in 2:23.12. I've got Farah's last 3 laps, 62.5, 58.2, 54 seconds. 54's good, but he's done better.
Yes, when he won this Olympic title for the second time last year, he went through in 52.7. This was the moment, Steve, where it was a different kind of last lap for Farah, because he found himself behind, as you said, The only way they were going to beat him was to be in front of him at the bell, and they were.
That's a team tactic. They must have realised, they've watched him race time and time and time again. Kajelcha knew exactly what he had to do. He's working hard, Kajelcha. They had to take it from 400 metres out, and they had to pile it on. And that's exactly what Kajelcha did. He ran himself into the ground and gave Edris a chance to come at him. But watch here, Chelimo boxed Mo, giving Mo no chance for him to come on 150. Here you see Mo coming on the inside. Kajelcha's tiring, looking over the wrong way to his shoulder. He thinks maybe he's got it. But Edris, with that last 50-metre burst, takes it away. And in the end, there's a 3-metre gap as Mo comes through for second place. A great run from all those athletes.
Edris, well, he goes round with the flag.
Muktar Edris with the performance of his life. Finally, Fabulous Farah is beaten into the silver medal position. And Chelimo follows up his silver last year in Rio with bronze in London. The end of an era for British distance running.